Hey everybody, Chris here. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Dogecoin and the crypto market reset. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And we did have that big pullback late Sunday night, early Monday morning. Talked about that yesterday on the live stream in more detail on what was all behind that movement of price. And now we start the recovery. All the charts are showing this retest. Price retests are good for the markets overall. Swept out a lot of that liquidity and those leverage traders. But the new ones are coming in though, and there's always a target there. We may see a little more volatility. Not quite sure what's happening today. Again, there's this idea of the United States White House making some kind of announcement or something, but when I look at the schedule, it looks like it's all about the UN and Gaza and Ukraine, and all of that is what's being talked about, not a strategic Bitcoin reserve. But we never know what's going to happen. So let's get into it. Let me show you the charts on the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. We start here looking at the current Dogecoin price. We're just over 24 cents here. So we're looking at a new support line at 24, seeing if we can hold and not have dips back into the 23s. We'll be watching that. But this is zoomed out on the 4-hour chart. We're looking back to December 2024. And this is the classic sloping resistance line of which we broke out over that earlier in September and then have come back to retest that line. We hit that line a few times. Finally broke out through. Now the retest here and move forward. But it's not just Dogecoin that's doing that. So we'll be looking at those in just a second. Overall, the charts, though, aren't looking so bad. We take a look at Bitcoin, for instance. Bitcoin is still moving up off of this upward sloping support line. And look at that. We just about hit it again on this next retest for Bitcoin. So the movement is still up and to the right. Yes, we hit a new all-time high here, but the targets are even higher for what's coming October and November. Again, none of this is financial advice. We're looking at how Bitcoin and crypto has traded in the past. Kind of rhymes and it kind of mirrors how past trading has gone. And this is just another retest on the way up higher. So what does this look like overall? Well, this was the big mass liquidation, right? This is the Bitcoin heat map that we saw. We looked at this yesterday on the live stream, how there was this mass liquidation of all of those leveraged long traders. Again, the exchanges and the market makers don't want you to win. You traders out there, they don't want you to win. And this has happened before. I mean, back in September 2024, we had a huge drop in the price of Bitcoin, took out huge mass liquidations, hundreds of millions of dollars. And then what did Bitcoin do? Higher, higher, and then took off, right? So that is what we could see coming forward, because what happens when it eventually takes off? It starts taking out all the shorts, right? We want to take out the big shorts as well. So we're waiting for the big short squeeze to happen. But here we are still retesting, but that is to come. So the classic, Bitcoin just retested the May-June key resistance, aligning with the one-day EMA 100 dynamic support. So a lot of confluence happening right here at this line, this area for Bitcoin. We come back, retest, and then move higher would be the classic move we would have for Bitcoin. But it's not just Bitcoin. Here's Ethereum, right? Same kind of thing. We have this sort of broadening wedge here. So more price action into 2025 for ETH, came back over the resistance line, and now have pulled back to retest before moving higher with a target. Well, I mean, he's showing this over $9,000. We'll see how high things go over the next couple months, but this is sort of the classic little diagram here of trading and how we see that kind of move. And Ali is like, well, here's Solana, right? Same kind of thing. We have kind of this wedge here. We have a few tops, came over, and then comes back to retest, retested on the wick all the way back down before moving higher. So this is across crypto. This is happening. We see this again and again and again. We can look at Pengu, right? Pengu has its own, very similar to Doge, right? This downward sloping resistance line that Pengu has hit a few times, finally broke out over it, comes back, retests before moving higher. So very common across crypto. So what does this mean for Doge? Well, so here's Doge's, right? Very similar line to what I have, comes back, retests. We're going to kind of move about sideways a bit as we close out September, but the potential for October is always there. You can hit different fib lines and look at different extensions and like all of that technical analysis, but we'll see what the news is that would drive Doge to do something like that. I mean, here again, Trader Allen is showing this upward sloping support line for Doge. For the past 3 months, Doge has been bouncing off that support line, and it's positive. This is higher lows, right? Higher lows and higher highs as Doge moves up. So that's all positive too. It's still a bull cycle. People get all zoomed in on this fall down. We had that before though, right? Earlier in August. Certainly the last half of July, big pullback. Those pullbacks happen even back in late May into June. That's how Dogecoin trades. It's more volatile than Bitcoin. We're going to see those big percentage drops, but guess what? Whenever Dogecoin moves back up, it accelerates in its price. You see that? It just accelerates up. And that's what we're waiting for, that next one. And that's when it outperforms pretty much the rest of the market when that happens. What's going on? Yesterday, during the live stream, someone put in the chat, hey, Chris, there's this DTCC registration of the 21 share spot Dogecoin ETF called T-Dog. Yes, T-Dog. Now, we didn't think that the final SEC approval of this ETF was going to be till January. But if it gets listed on DTCC, it's like, wait a sec. What could that mean? So we look, and this is what I posted, right? During the live stream, right? Someone else had this. So this is the listing of T-Dog, right? So again, don't know when this is actually going to start trading. Waiting for the news on that. It wasn't supposed to be till January, but maybe it's being accelerated because Doge already has one ETF trading, and we have the Grayscale one, which has its final SEC approval date of October 17th. And so maybe this one is getting ready to be in line with that. We will be watching that, of course. And of course, on X, I also show, right, higher lows, higher highs, right? Talk about all of the massive liquidations, right? Cover the drops in the price. You got to follow me on X, right? I keep up to date with all of these things. Sloping resistance line. Yesterday in the during the live stream, showed a video of this trading competition, like esports. It's like trading crypto and seeing who wins, right? Over some period of time. It's like, is this the sign we're getting closer to a top? Crypto trading is an esport. It's like, we got these guys here. These 4 guys here are in competition, right? Trying to see who makes the most money trading. I mean, this is a little crazy, right? A little crazy. So what's happening with these ETFs, though? I mean, here's Bitcoin over the past year. Look at all the green versus the red. A lot more money going into Bitcoin ETFs than coming out. What's going to happen with Dogecoin, right? Are we going to see that? Now, we haven't seen a lot on the Rex Osprey ETF that's already trading. How much money is flowing in yet? I think a lot of it was at the beginning, that first hour. It just was a huge amount of trading, and I think it's really quieted down since then, as expected. And I wasn't expecting a big price boom in Dogecoin following the launch of that ETF, but this is huge. I mean, this is just showing that crypto has a place for investors. Now, that's not the greatest thing for Doge, right? We think Dogecoin should be a currency and should be used and not just hodled, but there's a whole part, the whole investment part of cryptocurrency that the ETFs then play into. We've got gold hitting new all-time highs. We've got S&P 500 hitting all-time highs. We already had an all-time high in Bitcoin and then the pullback, right? Now we retested. Time to move higher. Bitcoin won't stay behind much longer between gold and stocks. That's all coming. Bitcoin about to go parabolic. Here's the gold chart, right? With the takeoff in gold. Here's Bitcoin winding up for its move. We've got, of course, we've got our friend Ali again, right? Saying his TD sequential indicator is saying buy here. And I was just like, wait a sec. He just said that at a higher price. And now it's lower and it's saying it again. It never said to sell. It's like Ali and his TD sequential indicators. Just like, But here's the big news, right? This is what we want to talk about is Dogecoin crashes 30%. But recovery could be coming fast. Now, the crash wasn't 30%. I mean, if you zoom out and you look at a bigger retest, right? Not just what happened on Sunday night, because that was only about 10%. But you know how these articles are like a brutal 30% drop. Hey, that's a buying opportunity, right? We're still in a bull cycle, the 4-year cycles. But it wiped out leverage traders. That's the big move, right? And this brutal reset might actually set up the perfect comeback story. That's right. Dogecoin just delivered a masterclass in crypto volatility. The meme coin's latest nosedive followed a familiar script. Leverage builds up. The market hunts for liquidity. Weak hands get shaken out. Retail traders get caught off guard, like the middle of the night, right? Sunday night, Monday morning, right? This could be exactly what Doge needed to clear the decks for its next move up. And that's what we're looking at is turning around, sharp drop to the 24-cent support zone, massive liquidity grab, caught leverage positions, classic flush out pattern, resets market positioning, potential bounce target back to 28 to 30 cents if support holds. That's what we're going to be looking at. This wasn't random sell-off. Market makers saw all that leverage piling up and decided to take advantage. They pushed prices lower, triggering stop losses and margin calls that created a domino effect of forced selling. So that's what we talked about yesterday. There it is. So here's the thing. Despite getting absolutely wrecked in the short term, Doge's bigger picture hasn't really changed. Once all this forced liquidation drama settles down, the market could snap back hard. The key level everyone's watching is that 24-cent support. Hold above it and we might see a quick recovery, but break below it and things could get uglier with a move toward 20 cents. That's what the bears were calling for, right? In the chat and in the live stream, right? The bears tend to come out again, like every time there's a pullback. But hey, the sell-off might just be temporary pain before the next move higher kicks in. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at Bitcoin at $113,000 to get back up to 116, and we're at Doge retesting 24 cents. And now we will begin this move penny by penny by penny, moving back up. That's what we will be watching in the weeks coming forward. I know we still have like possible government shutdown, at the end of the month. We'll be watching for that, as well as other FUD that's always going to come out. It's crypto trading. If you can't handle it, maybe you should just get out. But we still think that there's going to be this big move still coming. And on October 1st, I will be putting out my October price prediction video for Dogecoin, so watch for that. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this reset of crypto and Dogecoin. Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.